Oh, what's up, everybody? Clone here, your coach of the Hawluchas Dancers. With our battle against the Starfish, I believe. Link to the channel will be in the description, of course. This is our week 3 battle of the UDN, Universal Draft League, Upload League. Haven't checked out my last few battles, be sure to do that. But currently we're 1-1. And someone in our division is 2-0, I believe, and the other person is 2-0 as well, although they play each other, so one of them will lose, obviously. So I really need a win here because this is also a divisional match against the Starfish. I believe he's 0-2 right now, but both his losses have been kind of close. So I'm looking. His team, by the way, is the Blacephalon, Stakataka, did I say that right? Stakataka, probably. Crocodile, Swampert, Cofagrigus, Electivire, Latios Mega, Tapu Bulu, Ninetales, Alola, Hitmonlee, and Masquerain. So he has a couple things that I was really expecting he'd bring. He didn't end up bringing, such as the. I was expecting either Swampert. I was kind of expecting the Electivire because it kind of deals with Zapdos pretty well. But it doesn't surprise me that he didn't bring it. Electivire is pretty decent against my team as well, just because it excuse me, it deals with my Milotic, which is pretty important for my team. I'd say that Milotic is really solid. It's probably one of my important members of my team, and it's probably gonna come every week, to be honest. Same with Megalodius. And so it deals with that as well. But it doesn't surprise me too much that it didn't come, because Stakataka didn't come either, which I was kind of expecting. But once again, it's not that surprising. But I knew that he was definitely bringing at least the Swampert and Crook if those two didn't come, in which both of them came. So I wasn't too surprised. Swampert probably gonna be like a lefties, Toxic, Scald, or Toxic Waterfall probably. Probably Roar from my Megalodius to phase it out, and then I don't know what his last move would be, but probably Earthquake. Does decent damage, or maybe Superpower for my Snorlax. Either way, it's pretty annoying for my team. And then the Crook, I was expecting probably Scarf, or Banded. Scarf to Pursue Trap my Megalodius, or Banded to potentially kill my Megalodius. To KO, I believe. If he clicks Knock, and I'd stay in, because Pursuit doesn't do enough if he's Scarf, so it would be interesting. The Bulu, I'm expecting, I was pretty sure he'd bring it, just because it deals with my team pretty well, I would say. Just like an SD set with like Mega Horn, Horn Leech, and Edge kind of hits everything pretty hard. And so it's pretty hard to deal with, especially at +2, because then Edge kills my Zapdos, which is the only thing that takes Horn Leech. And then even if he doesn't have Stone Edge and he has like Zen Headbutt, it's still pretty annoying as well. So Bulu was pretty annoying for my team for the most part. But it's only if he's SD. If he's any other set, I guess Bandit would have been annoying as well. But I have my team is speed. A lot of my team speed creeps Bandit Bulu anyways, so it wouldn't be. I have ways to deal with Bandit Bulu, whereas SD Bulu is really hard for me to deal with. The Clown I was pretty sure it wasn't gonna come, just because the Clown, unless the only way it's able to do anything is if it tricks me as Specs. But even then, it's still gonna die to trick my Snorlax or my Sneasel Specs. So I felt like the Clown was not a good bring at all. Just because, and it doesn't deal with my Milotic either, because if my Milotic is Sped F, it doesn't deal with it. It's outsped by my Megalodius, unless it's Scarf. And then my Terrakin also outspeeds it. So I felt like the Clown was not a good bring at all into my team. But he ends up bringing it, and I have ways to deal with it regardless. So I was probably gonna prep more for it if it wasn't. I would probably prep harder for it, but I felt like it was just a horrible bring into my team. Just because like Cofagrigus in comparison, it's pretty useful. And then like stuff like let me pull up his team. Stuff like Veil would have been really annoying for my team in comparison to the Clown. So the Clown I wasn't 100% sure he was gonna bring. Hitmonlee is also another mon that I wasn't sure he was gonna bring. As I don't have great ways of dealing with Hitmonlee, but like if I keep stuff healthy, then Himali's never really gonna do anything to my team. I'm saying a lot because I'm trying to think. Oh yeah, Megalodius. So Megalodius or Megalodios. So it is kind of the battle between the Megalodis. Pretty interesting, but Megalodius, I was pretty sure that it wasn't gonna be a huge problem unless it's if it's like Calm Mind and Psychic, it's really annoying for my team. But I wasn't sure he would bring a Calm Mind Psychic set because it kind of loses to my Megalodius, because my Megalodius is a better Calm Mind user than it. And if you're clicking Psychic, then you're not gonna do much damage, right? So I was pretty sure if it was Calm Mind, it would probably be Psyshock. Psyshock would probably, Ice Beam, and then Ice Beam obviously can't touch my Lodic. And then if he's Calm Mind Thunderbolt, it's also annoying, but I have ways to deal with that as well. So lead wise, I was thinking I led with Roserade, right? Because if you look at his team, it only matches up bad against two members of his team, being the Latios and the Blacephalon. The leading Blacephalon is pretty bad in my opinion, especially because I believe the last 2 weeks I've led off with my Lodic. So I felt like he'd probably lead with Swampert. It was probably his safest lead. It's pretty nice against my entire team, especially if he has that Roar Toxic set that I was mentioning. And so I have to lead with Roserade, as he ends up just leading off with his Megalodios. So got this wrong, but it's fine. I have my Lodic as my pivot to just try and see what he is. So he is Calm Mind, which so he's Calm Mind. So I was thinking, and he didn't Mega either, which is interesting to me, but I'm not sure why. I believe his bulk gets better when he Megas, but he Calm Minds again. That's just Haze, because I have Haze on this obviously. My set is Haze Toxic Scald, not Scald, Haze Toxic Surf and Recover. Reason I'm running Surf, I think I mentioned it week 1, but if I run Scald and I burn this thing, it probably sweeps me if I burn it. Unless it's physical, then burn would be nice, but I do have a lot of defense on my Melodic to deal with a physical slash Calm Mind Psyshocks Megalodios. Getting them confused because we both have Megalodis. So I'm gonna let this play out. Basically, he has 16 Psyshocks. I have 16 Recovers. I clicked Toxic because, you know, it's pretty safe. There's no situation in which +1 Psyshock into neutral Psyshock will kill, so I'm safe to recover here. I guess there's one situation, is if he crits, but at this point I'm not sure what his last move is. He reveals it. I believe it's Refresh. I think that's the set, yeah. So he's walled by Sneasel, but I guess pretty good prediction on his part to not think, or to predict that I'm not going to bring Sneasel, although looking at his team, Sneasel's pretty solid into it. We're looking to 6 Mons that he brought at least. Because I believe his best resist would be like the Stag Attacka, which is one of the main reasons I didn't bring it, but that gets blown back by Break, which I believe Sneasel does learn. And aside from that, he doesn't have great resist to Sneasel. So looking back at it, I probably would have brought Sneasel, but I was pretty confident with the 6 I brought. I guess Terrakion, I wasn't sure if I was going to bring Terrakion or not. And it was kind of like, I had these 5 Mons, top 3 Mons, and Zapdos and the Roserade. I was pretty 100% sure that I was going to bring those Mons. Just because I like their matchup. So, because I like their matchup, I was pretty confident in bringing them, and therefore I felt comfortable. I kind of needed more damage, and Terrakion kind of 2-KOs everything on his team, aside from like Bulu, so it's pretty comfortable. And I guess Swampert, physically defensive Swampert, but I thought it would be more special for the Latios. So I'm gonna let these turns play out. It's pretty long, but basically it's just me Calm Minding, hazing, or him Calm Minding, me hazing, me recovering. Thankfully I'm not bad enough to choke on one of these turns and just like click Surf there, for example, but I played pretty safe. I guess if he gets a crit at any point here, it's really bad for me, but I do have Lax. Me predicting his Calm Mind. But like even there, it's not a bad haze because it's pretty safe. So I click Recover, because if you click Psyshock there and I don't click Recover, it's pretty annoying. He opts to go blue here on my Toxic. I believe I go Zap. Do I go Zap? No, I go Roserade. Either way would have been fine, but he goes back into this as I spike up. Pretty self-explanatory play so far. I go back into my Lodic because my only way of dealing with this, although I could have went Lax. So basically here I'm trying to condition him. It may seem a little bit stally, but I know his only move is Side Shock, and he only has 16 Side Shocks, so there's no way he'll beat my Lodic unless he crits. And I kind of want to keep Lax relatively healthy just because it's nice to have. I click here. That's the only turn where I felt like I kind of choked. Because if he got a max roll, then it was possible for him to kill with the Side Shock. But that's the only way. So I click recover here. A little bit stally, but is what my team is really good at. And I just have to condition him to get him to a point where he's at like 60%. And he's forced to recover and stored power, or not stored power, and refresh. And then I go into my Lax, and then I crunch and I kill, hopefully. Or I do a lot, basically. So I click Side Shock and I click recover. These turns are pretty boring, I would say, but we played this pretty fast, I would say. Considering that nothing's really happening, we played pretty fast. I surf again, because it's pretty safe. He Side Shocks, yep. And at a certain point, so I do have more, at this point I believe I do have more recovers than he has Side Shocks, so I'm pretty comfortable just staying in at this point, because there's no real way that this would be able to beat me. Like, we just click Toxic again. He does have more refreshes than I have stored Toxic, so it's fine. But clicking Toxic forces him to click the refresh. So he goes back into blue, he takes some chip, trying to get momentum up. I believe I was Zapdos here. Yep, and I just Volt Switch here. Does 18. I go Roserade, and I think I Toxic, if I'm not mistaken. Spiking up is probably the better. Oh no, okay. Here I make a double from, so at this point hold on, I'll go last turn. So at this point the Megalitis is at 80%, which is pretty decent percent. And that was probably his best play. Going Lax was okay because he's at a percentage where I was expecting him to either go into the, there's only really two Pokemon he can go into, right? The Clown or Megalodius. I have Pursuit on this Snorlax, and Crunch into Pursuit deals with both the Latias and the Blacephalon, because Crunch has too much to Latias for it to recover, because it's Latios. I keep referring to it as Latios, but it's Latios. Crunch is too much for him to be able to recover stall me, or recover stall and Calm Mind. And so because like the Latias doesn't have lefties, and so you're only getting that 50% instead of like a 56%. So in a lot of ways where you can do half to a Pokemon, but it can still recover stall you. And so I was pretty comfortable going Lax here, as he's definitely not staying in with Bulu on my Roserade. And so although I guess if he has Zen, then he probably can click it, but it just scouts so much, and then I obviously get the play right here, and he goes to Blacephalon. This is why I think Blacephalon was a bad brain, because that happens. Then he goes into this, which I think was kind of a misplay. He's kind of rushing it a little bit. I think you have to go into your Swampert here, or your Bulu, if you have Superpower, hopefully. But as you can see, Crunch does 65 and Frustration does 56, and so I just Crunch again. I was expecting him to go Lax, but it was a good mid-grind to Frustration. So here, he reveals that he is Curse White Herb, which gives him the Unburden boost. Stonage does a lot, but it doesn't do enough, and I can Toxic you, put you on a timer, which is really nice for me. As you click Knock, which is fine. I think I'm static, but I don't think that matters, obviously. He's Toxic. So I go into my Snake here, and I Surf. I just haze the attack, so that he's not able to do anything to my what's it called? My Megalodius. So now I can just go Megalodius and I can recover. Because he'll take 30% from Toxic, there's really no way he'll be able to do anything. He crits here, which is really annoying, but I don't think it matters too much. As he goes into his perk, I go with my Rosary because it's pretty safe. I don't remember. I think I leave Storm here. I'm not sure. Or I Toxic. I think I Toxic. Yeah. It's mid ground. As he goes back into this. And then I believe I go into my Lax. Yep. On the Zen. Same play I made last time that caught the Clown. And I have Frustration here, I believe. Which Tweet KOs. Yeah, Frustration does a lot. And I'm getting passive recovery. And so here he goes into his Crook, I believe. And I make a small misplay here, I guess. I just clicked EQ because I was like, I'll just get damage on it. And then he's like, wait a minute. And there's grassy terrain and he's not weak to EQ. I probably should have just clicked Frustration. I have this problem where I like with a couple mons, but like Crocodile is one of them where I keep forgetting that Crocodile is not a rock type. And in that moment I was like, okay, you're rock type, you're rock dark, so I might as well just click this. But he's not a rock type. I don't know why, but I feel like I just keep thinking that he's the same typing as T-Tar, even though I know he's not. But as he just clicks Power Punch and kills me, I'm fine with sacking this. Going into Latios. Going into Latios there could have saved me differential, and I kind of need differential, but if he clicks knock and crits me, that's really annoying for me. So I just go Terrakion here, Earthquake, or Close Combat works as well, but Close Combat will do too much damage for him to. I might kill him with Close Combat here, but I wasn't sure. But he might have been Scarf, which would have been annoying. So I go into this because I'm thinking, as I wasn't sure what his set was, if he was AV or something, and then I go Latias here. As I believe next turn he reveals that he is Scarf, so good thing I switched on Terrakion, saved me that one differential. And I believe I just saw a grassy terrain, and I click Psychic to kill him at a certain point where toxic damage racks up. And so, as a whole, this match was kind of what my team is supposed to do. I think I played better in this match than my last two matches by far. Like, it wasn't even close. Like, I think I played poorly in both my last matches, although my first match I played horribly. Although I still won my first match, like, I played pretty badly in that match, I'll admit. My second match I made a couple bad predictions, and in this match I think I played pretty solidly. I didn't over predict, especially with those turns. I felt like he became a little bit impatient by going Latios on my Snorlax, and so that kind of went those key turns where I was just patient and I knew that his Latios was not going to be able to beat my Milotic, even though he has more refreshes than I have Toxics. He'll just be at a certain point where he's out of attacking moves, and so I was pretty happy with my play. I'm trying to think. Terrakion did even show. Oh yeah, Terrakion did show. It clicked Close Combat, but I think I'm fine with revealing that my Terrakion was banned. And it ended up not having to do too much. Neither did my Megalodius. I'm not gonna reveal my Megalodius set because I do play the Starfish again later in the season, and he's a divisional rival, so it is pretty important that I beat him again. As divisional matches matter a lot more than even conference matches or interconference matches. So as a whole, I was pretty happy with how I played. 3-0 is okay differential. Probably could have been better, but I made some decent plays throughout this game. Enough plays to win me the game at least, or to make the game relatively easy to win, or like this end game was not hard, or there wasn't a lot of things that go wrong after the Hitmonlee was gone, especially because my Megalodius was so healthy, and Hitmonlee, like neutral Hitmonlee is never gonna kill Latias. Like even that crit did 70%. To put that in perspective, Knock would not have even done half if I was, what's it called? If I was yeah, knock. If he was neutral and didn't crit, knock wouldn't even done half. And I believe I am max speed, max special attack on this Latias. So that's pretty crazy that like knock let's not even do half. Granted, I don't have an item obviously, but as a whole, I definitely could have, like, this could have been a 5-0 win, I think. But I tried to play as safe as possible. Because I probably could have went Latias on him only instead of the Milotic. And even though he's +1, knock still doesn't kill. But if he had crit me there, like he did the next turn, I would have lost the game probably, or been in a pretty bad spot to win the game. So I'm not disappointed with how I played necessarily, that I could have gotten more differential, but as a whole, it's a pretty good bounce back win. I guess I'm getting better every week. Thankfully, it's better to do that than the other way around, of course. But currently 2-0, 2-1, I believe. Yeah, 2-1. I'm currently out of the playoff picture. But I'm playing a coach who is in the playoff picture, and I believe if I beat him, then I'll take one of the wildcard spots from him. So next week's match is pretty important. And as a whole, pretty happy with how I played. Summed up. Looking forward to the next one, and see you guys. I guess that's pretty much it. So if you guys enjoyed, leave a like on the video, subscribe, share it, and see you guys in the next one.